Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to your favorite channel, Yoleno TV. And I trust you're well from wherever you are. And like I said in my previous analysis, I always like to give you a recap of what we discussed previously so that you can always relate whatever we are discussing today with the previous analysis. So yesterday we talked about Joe Musheru's alleged move on the system audit as far as the audit trail generation is concerned. So we even went ahead and discussed a couple of those trending tweets. But the two tweets that we talked about were on Mutai Ngunyi. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, still on the same approach, I would like to first of all start by giving you some of those tweets that I think, because I know that some people are so busy they don't get to their Twitter account, but they like to know what is trending. So I came across 3 tweets, actually 4, but I chose 3. One from Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, that Twitter account. And Abdul Nasir is a senior counsel and always allied to Kenya Kwanza and specifically UDA. Now, this is what Ahmed Nasir said. Apparently, Amesa Juma has filed the first petition in the Supreme Court challenging the election of President-elect Honorable William RUTO. Apparently, the petition is a voluminous 2 paragraphs letter. And then he completes the statement by putting some emoji simulating that he is amused or laughing at that Twitter. So that is the first one. The second tweet that caught my attention is from Dr. Miguna Miguna. Now this is what Dr. Miguna Miguna said. William Kamket has fled Kanu, kuzimia Kanu. By the way, Kanu is affiliated to AZIMIO. So what Dr. Miguna is saying, William Kamket has fled Kanu, kuzimia to Kenya Kwanza. Peter Kagwanja ran away from Jubilee Party, affiliated to kuzimia again, to Kenya Kwanza. Mwaige Mwaure fled Agano, more are trooping to Kenya Kwanza. Not good for democracy. Stay in your parties and keep Kenya Kwanza government accountable. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the second tweet that caught my attention. Now, the third tweet that caught my attention is from my favorite political analyst, Mutai Ngunyi. And this is what Mutai Ngunyi said. Kenya Kwanza, but Haki Kwanza. That is how he started his statement. Kenya Kwanza, but Haki Kwanza. If Ruto won fairly, Kenya will move on. If there was thuggery at IEBC, we must correct for the sake of Kenya. Then the best man will win. It's that simple. Uhuru Kenyatta believes in institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, I interpret this tweet differently. It is like Mutai Ngunyi is beginning to have a soft stand on William Samoei Ruto, because could be that the realization that William Samoei Ruto is the de facto president is beginning to dawn in him. And since he's a political analyst, and by the way, Mutai Ngunyi is one of my role models, as far as political analysis is concerned. Now, him being a political analyst, he would like to stay relevant in the game. So perhaps that's why I find it strange, this tweet, though is my favorite, but the tweet is a bit, of course it will cause some mixed reaction, because I already saw some responses to the same, and that meant something's going. So now, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many other tweets, but my focus is going to be on one tweet, which is Dr. Miguna Miguna's tweet. Because from what Dr. Miguna Miguna posted, to me, I tend to believe that William Samoei Ruto could be employing one of the MOI game plan. You remember how Moi used to handle the opposition? That is the way William Samoei Ruto is addressing this issue of opposition in courts, because right now we can't say that Raila Amolo Odinga is in opposition because of the looming court battle, and anything can happen at the end of this court battle. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome you to this channel again. And if you're a first-time viewer, please take a moment and subscribe to our channel. And any regular viewer who has not subscribed, please take a moment also and subscribe. You mean a lot to us when you subscribe to our channel and also view our channel. When you give us a thumbs up, we find it so supportive. So ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment and do the needful. Now, like I said, our focus is on Miguna. You know, we've known that since 2017, Miguna has not had a rosy relationship with Raila Amolo Odinga, and he has been blaming Raila Amolo Odinga for his tribulations. But it's available in the public domain that the blunder and the reason why Miguna had to be deported is squarely on him, his behavior and how he conducted himself. You know, there was no way that Miguna could survive that onslaught because he was constantly on the government's neck, and literally all politicians that came in the way of Miguna always felt the wrath of Miguna. So perhaps to the government, they cited Miguna as a threat to the institutions. So let us talk about this tweet. Miguna categorically mentioned William Kapket from Kanu and Peter Kagwanja from Jubilee to having been decamped, all showed alienations to the Kenya Kwanza. I could say William Kapket felt, that if his party leader lost the senatorial position, that means that means maybe Kanu could be on its deathbed. Maybe that is the interpretation of William Kapket. Moi in his era used to handle opposition by splitting opposition. Remember, the numerical strength in the Senate, in the parliament is very, very important to the new government that will be formed. In order for the policies to be formulated, you need numbers. So I think William Samoei Ruto has his numbers intact. Now is trying to invade Raila Amolo Odinga's AZIMIO One Kenya Alliance, to invade numbers from that umbrella also. By doing that, William Samoei Ruto believes that he will be weakening the opposition to an extent that any agenda that they want to be passed in the parliament will be passed because they will be enjoying the majority. From the numbers that we have, it is apparent that AZIMIO One Kenya Alliance had the numbers as far as the member of parliament and the women rep and those numbers are concerned. But in the senatorial angle, Kenya Kwanza has the majority. So we realize that William Samoei Ruto's tactic of snatching, the members from AZIMIO and Kenya Alliance is meant to weaken AZIMIO, number one. Number two, is also meant, what William Samoei Ruto is trying to achieve is that in the event that the court decides to nullify or call for an election, William Samoei Ruto will have numbers to campaign for him. The people that he has snatched will definitely campaign for William Samoei Ruto. You saw a delegation of UDM decamping from AZIMIO again to Kenya Kwanza. 7 MPs decamped. So if you talk about the 7 MPs plus 2 MPs, that makes it 9. So AZIMIO One Kenya Alliance is beginning to become weak and weaker. And at the end of the day, it will be the weakest coalition. Of course, there have been rumors that Kalonzo Musyoka could be, maybe William Samoei Ruto is planning to appoint Kalonzo Musyoka for a ministerial position. I don't know whether Kalonzo Musyoka will agree to it, owing to the fact that Kalonzo Musyoka has an ambition of becoming the president, and the only way for him to have a say in the next government is for him to stay with the AZIMIO One Kenya Alliance, because at the moment, you know very well that Raila Amolo Odinga will not contest for 2027 because all indication were that this is the last election for him. It was the last bullet, according to what pundits said. Now, if he succeeds in the court battle, and maybe court decide to call for a retally, and then he wins, the better for him. If he doesn't succeed and the courts decide that the win for William Samoei Ruto is confirmed, that will be a worst case scenario. If again the courts decide to call for re-election, you can see what William Samoei Ruto is doing by weakening the opposition is merely preparing himself for any eventuality. That is, if the courts decide for re-election, he will have snatched members from AZIMIO, members who will campaign for him. If the courts decide that a retaliation is done, the worst case scenario for William Samoei Ruto, because now the truth will be revealed by the retaliation of this Form 34As, and if there is any error, the courts can decide that that error be corrected. Because mind you, according to 2017 Kiae petition, is that the Form 34As are the final document that cannot be altered by IEBC. So we know that Chebukati banked on that verdict to make the declarations that he made. Now, should the courts decide that now IEBC, you need to factor in those errors. If the errors were made to inflate William Samoei Ruto's, then remove them. If the errors were meant to suppress Raila Amolo Odinga's votes of particular margin, then add them. The courts can make that decision. The courts can as well weigh that now this will cause some jitters between the Kenyan citizen. Now the best case scenario, let me order for a re-election. That could be the verdict. That can be the fairest verdict from Mother Justice Martha Koome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our focus was on this game plan of William Samoei Ruto by snatching AZIMIO One Kenya Alliance MPs and thereby making the coalition umbrella weak. First, they will not be able to get a speaker if that move by William Samoei Ruto bears fruit. They will not be able to control the parliament, control the Senate parliament too. So that means as Kenya Kwanza will enjoy the majority, and probably all the bills that Kenya Kwanza will be fronting will be passed. That was the game plan of MOI. Remember in it's around 97, if I'm not wrong, when Raila Amolo Odinga decided to join KANU and then made the new KANU coalition, and then the bills that MOI used to advocate for were passed because the numbers MOI enjoyed from the NDP merger with KANU made him survive. He survived because of that merger. So you saw at a time when MOI was almost getting impeached, new KANU was formulated as a coalition of KANU and NDP, and that led to Raila Amolo Odinga becoming the Secretary General, if I'm not wrong, that time. And he earned a ministerial position also, if I'm not wrong. CS for energy, I don't know, but I'll check the facts for you maybe later. But what we are saying about MOI is that MOI was the professor of politics. He nurtured youths, the Y2K umbrella. Then William Samoei Ruto was a member of that Y2K. So the policies that William Samoei Ruto is likely to formulate might be an extension of what MOI used to advocate for back then. And the way he's presented his speech, you could tell that this is a man that is a no-nonsense kind of person. It could be to the advantage of Kenyans. It could be to the disadvantage of Kenyans. It could be to the advantage of politicians or to the disadvantage of politicians. A no-nonsense kind of president. That is what William Samoei Ruto showcased during his previous speech. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to wind up. But before we conclude, finally, take a moment and subscribe to our channel if you're a first-time viewer. Once again, I'd like to say thank you so much for all those people who've been subscribing to us, to our channel. We are at 5,000, and I believe that with your support, the next target of 6,000 will be achieved. Once again, I'd like to say thank you so much, and please make sure you stay safe and stay blessed. Until you meet again, bye-bye.